refused to testify. Mr. Rimes? What are you hiding? What are you doing? Nice pants. Whoa, what's going on? Why is everybody making that face for? This one, the... I haven't been watching the trial and nobody's told me anything.
Marlon Rimes, you are under suspicion for the attempted murder of an orca. You are a killer whale killer, yes?
I see? Well, if it's already out... Mr. Rimes? Is he really going to admit it? Fine, I'll tell the truth. You're not even gonna try to lie to me? You don't even have the respect to try to lie to me about it? Sasha's lying to protect that orca. At 3:30 a.m. on the 20th, there was still water in the orca pool. The incident happened before the orca was moved to the show pool. Orla killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him fall to slam down in the water. So I thought the orca should pay the consequences.
Now we're back to the orca again?
I did not see that testimony coming. What? Now wait a minute. Yesterday Orla was proven innocent. Besides, you said Orla was in the show pool during the cleaning. I didn't want to sell Sasha out. That's why I didn't tell the truth. But the fact is, all three of us, Sasha, the captain, and me, were cleaning the pool room. Were you really? But Dr. Crab and Miss Buckler both said you were at the show stage. Well, the only thing Dr. Crab knew about the cleaning was what I told him. I didn't give him a whole lot of details either. Maybe he misunderstood. And Sasha's lying to protect the orca. She can't tell the truth. She's not capable. Every time she tells the truth, her nose grows. She's like a reverse Pinocchio. Every single line she says is the lie. Sasha put blood on the skull rock herself to make a fake blood stain. I think it's pretty brave of her to let herself get arrested to protect the orca. Mr. Rimes, how can you lie like that? It's the truth. Besides, wouldn't it be better for you if I wasn't lying? If the orca did it, you win your case. What?
This is all very hard to believe. But if Mr. Rimes' story is true, Miss Buckler would be innocent and the orca would be the killer.
Meaning, if we turned our backs on Orla, we could save Sasha. Having a witness lie to save your own client. What a dirty, underhanded tactic, right, Dono? It's something I would do.
Objection!
Yesterday, the defense proved Orla was not guilty. We have no intention of going back on our assertions now. What are you saying, Mr. Wright? All you gotta do is admit the orca did it and Sasha goes free! Isn't the lawyer supposed to act in his client's best interest? But that wouldn't be acting in her interest. Miss Buckler believes Orla is an innocent. And we, of course, believe that Miss Buckler herself is innocent, too. Acting in the client's best interest is an important part of our job as lawyers. Using dirty means to win a verdict would destroy our client's faith in us. That's right! We believe in both Miss Buckler's and Orla's innocence. Huh? I just don't understand how you can treat a human and an orca equally. Whales are scum. They're lesser beings that deserve to die. Look, it's very, very simple. Sasha or the orca, you can only save one of them. I don't know about that. I think I can save them both. All I have to do is call Superman. I mean, disprove your testimony. Oh yeah? Then go ahead and try. Bring it on, bring it on. I'm not gonna show you my eyes. Oh, I'm getting shady. Throwing some shade. I'll do just that. If I can't tear down his testimony, I won't be able to save both of them. I have to find a weak spot and just start pressing. Tearing. Tear that weak... The truth. Ooh. Sasha's lying to protect that orca. Are you lying because you were dumb? You dumb. What exactly do you claim Miss Buckler is lying about? Sasha put that bloodstain on the skull rock and stuff herself as false evidence. She left fake traces to try and save the orca.
Objection!
Witness, if you keep talking nonsense, I will seal your mouth shut. The defense supports the prosecution's idea. Let's let this guy never talk again. Let's just seal it. Let's get some cement and just blah. But Mr. Wright, my testimony helps your client. You ought to be happy. I want to save both Orla and Miss Buckler. I won't accept anything less. Now that that's understood, please continue with your testimony. Fine. No skin up my nose. At 3:30 a.m. on the 20th, there was still water in the orca pool. When the victim was killed, how much water was in the pool? It was before the pool was drained for cleaning, so it was full. You went into the orca pool room and saw this yourself? Dr. Crabbe said that you were at the show stage.
Objection!
But it's possible that Dr. Crabbe was misinformed or that he misunderstood. The witness already explained this. Why are you taking this meaningless tack? If you want to play games, Taka here would be more than happy to play with you. She really loves to play video games on her 3DS.
Squaw, 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 squaw. We're playing Pokemon, squaw.
We better be careful how we press this witness. Taka's watching us like a hawk. Literally, because Taka is a hawk. Witness, continue. The incident happened before the orca was moved to the show pool.
Hold it!
So you're saying the incident took place before the cleaning began? Yeah, I guess so. The captain, Sasha, and I were going to do the cleaning together. It's much more efficient than trying to have just one person do it alone. In the defense's case, however, more lawyers means simply more lawyers. Nothing more. What? You want to talk? All you have on your side is a cantankerous bird.
What about me? I'm up here all alone. Everywhere I go, I'm all alone. Why does no one want to hang out with the judge?
Are you people done? I don't even know what you're talking about. If you need the witness to keep you focused. For shame, right, Dono? Hey, I was the only one who kept my mouth shut. Anyway, the incident happened in the orca pool before the cleaning got started. Orla killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam down on the water. But it was estimated 65 feet in the autopsy. He did not die in the water.
Hold it!
I don't think. That seems like a point of contention. Can an orca even do that? Send a person flying up into the air like that? Yup, of course. I've seen orcas bashing seals 60 feet into the air. So naturally, Orla could do that to the captain, too.
What a frightening thought! And you mention it so casually, Mr. Rimes.
Well, what else can I say? It's the truth. Mr. Rimes is claiming that Orla killed the victim by sending him flying into the air. But would something like that even be possible in the orca pool room? There's something about that statement that bothers me.
And so you witnessed the moment the victim was killed by the orca. Is that right?
Exactly. So I thought the orca should pay the consequences.
Hold it!
Wow. Yeah, I tried to kill a whale. What about it? And that's why you put the sleeping drug in Orla's food? Ahoy! Yo, yo, yo ho! Sasha could be found guilty, but let her be. But if the orca died, Sasha could go free. I thought if the orca was already dead, Sasha might tell the truth and free herself. Free herself, like my free-flowing rhymes. It might seem cruel, but a man killing an animal has to be put down. The culprit must have tried to do away with Orla because she was a witness to the crime. But if Mr. Rimes is the culprit, why would he try to protect Sasha? I'm sensing very complex emotions from Mr. Rimes. I need more information before I can do a proper analysis. If I'm going to tear down his testimony, then I guess I have to present evidence. Of course, we don't believe Mr. Rimes' testimony. But he's suggesting the murder took place in the orca pool. Unless we can disprove that, we won't be able to save both Orla and Sasha. I feel like the autopsy is a pretty go-to thing here. Let's see. Orla killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam down on the water. Let's see what we've got. Don't we also have evidence of the pool? No, we don't. Fingerprints, not important yet. Handmade sign. That's going to be important for linking the penguin to this crime scene for some reason. Let's see. What is this? Thought to be from 65 foot into pool, bruised all over. Ceiling to pool bottom is 100 feet. Blow to head received after death. I feel like we just present this.
Objection!
Yeah. When lies are piled on top of each other, contradictions start to emerge. This time is no different. Are you saying there's some kind of inconsistency in my testimonial? That's exactly what I'm saying, though not quite so stupidly. You claim that the victim was sent flying about 30 feet into the air. But the autopsy report states the cause of death was thought to be from a 65-foot fall. What? Additionally, in your testimony a moment ago, you said at 3:30 a.m. on the 20th there was still water in the Orca pool. The pool is about 65 feet deep and there's about 30 feet between the water and ceiling. If the pool is full of water as you claimed, it would be impossible for the victim to fall about 65 feet as the autopsy states. Ag! The music doesn't always stop, but most of the time it stops. It's nice. Mr. Rimes claimed that he was in the Orca pool room so he could make these statements. But the truth must be he was at the show stage, just as Dr. Crabbe and Sasha testified.
I believe that brings us back around to the Orca didn't do it.
I didn't believe the witness's testimony from the outset. I am grateful to you, Right Dono, for shutting the witness up. As I thought, the only person who could have killed the victim is Sasha Buckler. That fact still remains, whether the witness was the one who tried to kill the Orca or not. Son of a gun! Mr. Rimes was right about one thing. His testimony was advantageous to our case. But pointing out the contradiction in his statement will only drive us into a corner.
As Prosecutor Blackwell said, suspicion against Miss Buckler is now deepened.
Uh-oh. If I don't do something fast, the judge is going to find Sasha guilty. Mr. Wright, is there anything we can do? There has to be a way to prove Sasha is innocent. At a time like this, the thing to do is turn my thinking around. Instead of trying to prove that Sasha couldn't have done it, I have to think about what made it possible for somebody else to have done it. As long as the crime scene is the Orca pool room, then Sasha's the only one who could have committed the crime. No need for pity, your baldness. Just finish him off with a swift verdict.
It appears the defense has no objections.
Nope, wait, nope, put that down, put the gavel down, put the...
Very well, I will give my verdict.
No, don't put it, don't, hold it, hold that up, don't put it down. Please hold off on that verdict, Your Honor.
But you were so quiet, Mr. Wright. Do you have something to say now?
As I was over here thinking, the defense has a counter-argument.
You do? I'm amazed.
Pitiful, such desperation. You look pale. Are you sure you're prepared to make this counter-argument? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. I'll never forget those words, no matter how many years go by. Even though it's probably just a bluff, I'll give it to them with a smile. What if the scene of the crime was somewhere else?
The scene of the crime?
Somewhere else? Well, what?
What? You're finding fault?
You're finding fault with the police investigation now? As I understand it, the prosecution's argument is as follows. The scene of the crime was the Orca pool room. Only the defendant and victim entered that room when there was no water in the pool. Therefore, only the defendant could have committed the crime. That is correct. But if the scene of the crime was not the Orca pool room, then somebody other than the defendant could have committed the crime. What? 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 Are you sure you know where you're going with this? Nope. I might not be too sure, but I can't back down now.
Mr. Wright, I hope that I'm wrong, but this isn't one of your bluffs by any chance.
Bluffing? I'm not a bluffer, mans. I always get there. The judge knows me far too well. He's on to me. I'm lying out of my pants.
And do you have a theory on where the actual scene of the crime was?
Yes, of course. Think, Phoenix, think. Think of a place other than the Orca pool room where one could fall to one's death. He was in the Grand Canyon! No, sorry.
Then by all means, share your theory with the court. Where was the real scene of the murder?
It was in the show pool. They're not giving me a lot of choices here. I'm gonna save it anyway.
Take that!
The show stage pool might have been drained of water at some point as well, and if so, it would be just as possible to fall to one's death there as the Orca pool. Right, Dono. What you're doing is a disgrace to your profession. And I'm a murderer who's practicing law. So, what does that say about you? I sincerely hope you have some basis for what you're suggesting. Of course I do! I will as soon as I think of something. The victim's body was found in the Orca pool. How do you explain that?
Objection!
How about if, after the victim was killed in the show stage pool, his body was moved to the Orca pool? Right?
How about if? What kind of presentation of your argument is that? Let's all imagine. Let's play pretend. Oh, let's build a castle out of blocks. Oh, can we do that? Maybe later. You had better have a reasonable explanation of how the body was moved.
There's no turning back now. I have to think of a way the body could have been moved. Someone killed the entire Grand Canyon. Was there something at the scene that could have been used to move the body? Like a winch? He was smuggled in a giant octopus. I kind of want to. No, it's got to be the winch. That's the only mover thing here.
Take that!
Right? The hoist runs between the Orca pool room and the show stage. The stretcher can be hung from the hoist to move things like Orla or the Skull Rock. This stretcher could have been used to move the dead body.
Yes, if the stretcher can move the Orca or the Skull Rock. It seems likely it could also move a dead body as well. It's significantly smaller and lighter.
Wow, somehow that worked. I just might be able to pull this off. If the show pool was the scene of the crime, somebody else could have done it. And they could have dropped the body off without getting inside because they don't need a key card to use the winch.
Objection!
Boom, 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 bibbida boom. Humph. You desperately spew conjecture. Now you even make up a crime scene. Adorable. Time to break out of these shackles and murder everyone. Huh? Eek! Not again! How does this always happen? Why? You don't have the soul of a warrior. You don't deserve to be on the battlefield. I will strike you down. And even your fabrication is half-baked. Like the ice cream from the Ben and the Jerry. It's a disgrace! What do you mean half-baked? So it's brownies in chocolate, and then there's cookie dough in vanilla. It's real. I highly recommend it. The hoist can be operated from the Orca pool room only. It can't. What? Oh. And the one person who entered the Orca pool room was the defendant. So even if the body was moved, the only one who could have moved it was the defendant herself. Ah! Quit breaking those feathers! How do you have so many feathers? I know you have a bird, but why?
Order. So it comes back to the defendant, no matter which pool it was.
Meaning I can't clear Sasha either way? Sasha said she moved Orla and the Skull Rock. and I believe her. So could it be possible that she moved the body herself without being aware of it? I think the body was in the Skull Rock. That's why it was being bashed open by the whale.
Mr. Wright, do you have an objection to Prosecutor Blackwell's claim?
Do I have an objection to the claim that the defendant moved the body? I think it's just, I have no objections. She did move the body, but she didn't know it. But I'm saving anyway, because I'm not confident. I have no objections. Miss Buckler must have been the one who moved the body. What?
So I win? Mr. Wright, are you admitting the defendant committed the murder?
No. I'm simply conceding that she was the only one who could have moved the body. However, I contend Miss Buckler was not aware that is what she was doing. The culprit made her move it, unbeknownst to her.
The defendant moved a dead body without recognizing that it was a dead body? They stored the entire Grand Canyon in a Skull Rock? I forget, how did we get to the Grand Canyon? Can we go to the Grand Canyon? How could that be possible?
Well, you get in a car and you just drive to the Grand Canyon. The body was found in the Orca Pool. It must have been moved there somehow. I might find some kind of hint in the things she moved with the stretcher. The culprit made Miss Buckler move the body along with this piece of evidence. Pretty sure we are showing the Skibbity skull.
Take that!
The Skull Rock?
Miss Buckler told me yesterday that she moved the Skull Rock when she was cleaning. The only two things Miss Buckler moved to the Orca Pool are Orla and the Skull Rock. I would like to suggest that the victim's body may have been inside the Skull Rock.
What? Huh?
Hidden inside the rock, the body could have been moved to the Orca Pool with the hoist. At the show stage, Marlon Rimes loaded up the Skull Rock with the body inside. And then he used the walkie-talkie to let Miss Buckler know the rock was loaded. Miss Buckler operated the hoist from the Orca Pool room and moved the stretcher. She moved the rock without knowing the body was inside.
Do you really think there's enough space inside the Skull Rock to place a body?
The swashbuckler flyer indicates it could be possible. Please focus on the question at the bottom left.
Oh, it says, who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the Skull Rock? Can I have the coins? Hidden inside the Skull Rock? Is it me? Do I get to have coins? In that case, I suppose the rock is most likely hollow.
Like most skulls, especially yours. What's more, if the body was inside the Skull Rock, it explains the remaining unanswered questions.
Such as?
Please take a look at the security footage on the screen Mr. Plume witnessed. Where did the body that Mr. Plume saw come from? Please recall, what was Orla doing to the Skull Rock at the time? She was headbutting it.
Oh!
That's right. Orla's ramming released the body from the Skull Rock. The body had been placed inside the Skull Rock and moved there from the show stage. I assert that the real murder scene was, in fact, the show stage pool.
Silence!
What rubbish is this now? You don't have a single scrap of evidence.
Objection!
It's easy enough to verify what I say. Take a look inside the Skull Rock for yourself. You should find some kind of proof that the body was there. Blood, fibers, hair, pirate memorabilia.
Right, oh no, I didn't think about looking inside of a thing. Please, no, don't look inside a thing.
Mr. Wright, that was incredible! You turned things completely around, assuming that we look in the rock and find a thing, which we haven't. And to think, it all started with that half-baked bluff, too. Phew, that was a close one. Did you really have to add that last bit about me eating ice cream?
If the murder took place at the show stage, then who is the perpetrator?
It is naturally the person who was at the show stage. Mr. Rimes, weren't you the only one who loaded the Skull Rock onto the stretcher at the show stage? Dot, 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 dot. Wow, Mr. Wright, that was some pretty smart brain work you did there. To be honest, I never thought you could figure it out. I tried to protect myself, but I guess it came back to bite me.
You confessing you gave false testimony before Mr. Rimes? That's perjury. A thing we never, ever enforce.
Yeah, what Mr. Wright says is true. The body was inside the Skull Rock. And it's true the captain was killed in the show pool, too. What? He's admitting to it that easily? This time, I'm gonna tell you the whole truth about what happened that day. I don't know where this is going. Lay it on me. In the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. Then the captain came down and slammed into the water. We already got rid of that. I can still remember the spectators' screams clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. When Mr. Plume witnessed the orca finding the body, I freaked. This is not very convincing.
So now we're back to the orca again. I see.
If you were going to give testimony like that, why did I bother putting you on the stand? That's like it was the same story. All I'm doing is telling the truth. I'm a truth teller. That day, Sasha wanted to do the old version of the Swashbuckler Spectacular. So I suggested she hide the body in the Skull Rock and move it into the orca pool. I was going to figure out what to do with the body after the show was over. The orca is the one that killed the captain. It wasn't me and it wasn't Sasha. So it was Mr. Rimes' idea to hide the body in the Skull Rock? But if Mr. Rimes is the culprit, why would he protect Sasha? False charges against Sasha would mean he himself would escape suspicion, so why? Mr. Wright, how about if you leave this to me? Athena, do you mean you heard something? Did you hear an emotion? Yep, noise, discord in Mr. Rimes' heart. So that means somewhere in his testimony, there's an inconsistency in his emotions. All right, Athena, give him a good counseling session. Let's find out about Mr. Rimes' childhood. You got it, boss.